Good morning and welcome to the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Coast Cigar in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Mort, Bones, and I'm Maverick, welcoming you to the show. Beautiful morning, gentlemen.
It is. Top of the
Beautiful morning.
Gorgeous.
In our studio, we have Mikey Silvers joining us in the background to give commentary or sports talk.
Or just keep his mouth shut.
Little banter from the peanut gallery.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Wave your hand, Mikey Silvers.
Go Yankees.
That's
Nice
it.
tonight.
Today's the
We got
day.
baseball tonight.
You know, I find it as a Reds fan growing up.
Oh,
They were in the same division with the Dodgers.
who the Reds?
Yeah,
Yeah, back in the day.
back in the day. I still find it hard to cheer for the Dodgers. So, and as bad as New York did to my cousin, I still got to
He
say
got screwed.
I want to see the Yankees win,
Well,
but I want it to be stretched out. I don't want it to be
4-0.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
You want to see baseball and see all the
Silver.
games.
you want the sweet, right? Sweet. We can't prolong it.
Since we're talking about the Dodgers, and we lost a great baseball pitcher from the Dodgers,
An old time baseball.
an old time from the 80s.
Yeah,
64, our age, 64
He
years
actually
old.
won the World Series with him, I believe.
I'm not going to dispute it because I don't know.
Morning, Kevin. Morning, Caitlin.
Good morning
I don't know who the
to
Kevin.
all of our viewers.
Caitlin, Kevin Monk, what's up? That's my buddy from Philadelphia. Morning, Kevin.
Caitlin's watching on YouTube. We are available on 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge Facebook page, YouTube page, and the Coast Cigar Lounge
Correct.
Facebook page.
Correct.
Yes.
You know, I got a chance to meet all of the Dodgers back in the 80s when I was in Los Angeles. It was at Planet Hollywood, and they had a little thing, a little room set aside for VIP rooms and stuff,
Inhaling.
and it was nothing but the Dodgers team. So we're sitting in there eating lunch, my sister and I, and she says, "Who are all those people?" I said, "Well, that's the Dodgers," because Tommy LaRosa.
Lasorda.
Thought it was LaRosa.
No, Tommy Lasorda.
Lasorda, that's right. It
Did he
was.
play with the Phillies too? I'm sorry. Valenzuela played with the Phillies also?
I think he did.
He probably before he went to the Dodgers, or maybe after. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Kevin would know that. He's a big baseball guy.
Okay.
So,
I don't doubt it.
So she says, "Are you going to go try to get an autograph?" And I said, "No, it's wrong place, wrong time.
So,
It's just not." But I did get a chance to talk to a couple of them,
Also?
and they said, "So, are you a Dodgers fan?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a Reds fan." Oh man! I said,
Let me tell you something.
He died at only 64 years
but, you
old.
know, we used to be able to get into the Dodger Stadium for $2 into the outfield, into the
In the bleachers.
metal stadium.
Yeah, the bleachers.
Metal,
Yeah, how about that? $2.
Yes.
Can't even get a hot dog there for $2 now.
You can't even park for less than
25.
Yeah, I know.
we used to go into the World Series when the Yankees were there, and that's when you had the old guys sitting at the turnstiles.
Yeah.
You know, taking the tickets.
Yeah.
And you go up there, you get in line, get up there and say, "Hey, I got 5." And he'll say $40.
He
$50.
was a Philadelphia Philly for the 1994 season.
I see Kevin let us
And,
know that he was
So you say,
afterwards.
"I got 5 guys, $40." Okay,
Yeah.
so we get the other 4 guys, we get in line, wait, hand them $40, and he lets you do it. But then you have to find a place. I mean, you're 16, 17 years old.
General admission is what it's called.
You're
Yes.
you're walking around.
But
Well,
you,
they only
you
sell
can get
so
into
many
the good
tickets.
seats. Fake it.
Oh,
your way
yeah,
down. Fake your way
absolutely.
down. You know
But,
what I mean? You
that's
give the
what-
guy at the top of the thing a 10 spot, and he says, "Oh, look, there's
Yeah.
2 free open seats there."
That's when they play. That's when they're playing the Dodgers, and you can see Garvey playing, standing at first base. He had Popeye forearms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His forearms was
Yeah.
freaking huge.
I used to get into the stadium in both Anaheim and Dodgers because I'd spend summers out in California when I wasn't in Ohio. And Dad would just say, I'll have Terry, my stepmother, drop you off at the stadium for the day game.
Yeah, and have
Yeah.
something to do.
So I do like Bones just
You could
talked
do it
about. I
back
do
then.
the general admission. Hey, here's $5, and they'd go, find a place. So you start
the freaking concourse, just be
Well, you
Well,
know
we're
what
all
also?
working
It
because
was
it's a day
different
game.
times
yeah.
then.
It really was.
Oh,
It was
absolutely.
different times then where they didn't mind if you snuck your way down. They knew people were going to do it, and it wasn't a big deal.
Well, the day game, they know that these are paid for by
It's all about the money now. man.
somebody
Corporate.
has season tickets.
Yes, and
Right.
they're working people too, so
And-
they may not be able to get there.
Well, back in the 80s, if you had a season ticket, it was like, hey, you want to go to the game? Here's 2 tickets.
Mhm.
It wasn't go to Ticketmaster and
Yeah,
and,
get robbed.
and take the ticket from them.
Right.
You had to have the paper ticket to get in, or else you paid the general admission to get in.
That's good. I don't even know they make paper tickets anymore, do they?
I think they,
Oh, they do, because I went to the Phillies game and they're like this now.
when it comes to the
They're like
season
big
tickets,
block tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the season
And
tickets, they get the
Yeah.
Well, they probably get a book stapled together.
Yeah.
they get fancy shit.
Oh yeah,
Binder.
But it's going to be, I hope it's a good series, and I hope it ain't a blowout. You guys do 4-0 sometimes, but you know what? If it goes to 6 or 7, great.
I
It makes
think
it even more suspenseful. Man.
Oh, boy, big time.
so. Anniversary of a dear friend of ours and Bob's brother,
Yes.
Joe,
Is that today?
yesterday.
It was Monday.
Monday,
Actually,
I'm
it was
sorry.
Monday.
I've been
Oh,
sick,
yeah.
so
Something's the 23rd.
if this thing goes the full length, it's rigged. Vegas wanted it to do that.
By Smoking Joe.
Football, I could see that. Baseball's just you have to. There's just too many freaking people that need to be involved
All the time. All the
to
time.
throw it. You got. If we can get to their start, if the Yankees can get to their starting pitchers, we'll be all right. We don't want to go to their bullpen. We don't want to go to our bullpen if we don't have to.
Also, I think to keep them on fire, they got to score early.
Oh yeah,
Either team.
Yeah.
They got to score early, get up 4-0, 3-0,
Right.
and then they're on fire because they're saying, "All right, we got a three-run lead." Because a lot of games
Let's
are decided.
maintain
A lot of teams are decided by 1 and 2 runs
Absolutely.
during the year. You know what I mean?
So today, folks,
God bless
we're smoking the AJ Fernandez
Thank you, Kevin.
Bellas Artois, I'm assuming, if that's French. Artez.
whatever.
And
Artois is that? Artois?
It's always
Artois,
Atois
That's
is always
French.
French. Yeah.
Artez, Artes. If pardon us, we know habla español, and
Something like that.
something. We're drinking Buckeye Blend
Woo.
coffee straight out of Fort Findlay
Ohio.
Coffee and Doughnut Shop out of Findlay, Ohio. Thank
That
you.
must
You
be
see?
a popular donut shop.
Toxic's thinking the same way I was.
Thank you to Mandy, a dear friend of the show and
Yes.
daughter of Scotty Too Hottie
Scotty Too Hottie, one of the owners
Yep.
from afar.
from afar. So
This is our last blend from her.
we've run out of coffee to go. So those of you that would like to contribute, possibly send something to the shop
We're
for us
at
to try. We're
3418, right?
You know where we're at.
Well,
'cause
let's
we're
rephrase
here
it.
every day.
We didn't run it. We ran out of the types
New
of stuff,
stuff.
the new stuff to try. We got. Let me go.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm okay with somebody coming in, and I've got little glass jars like Bones brought in yesterday, taking like a pot of coffee type
Yeah, like a,
stuff to go.
yeah,
home,
enough
you
for
know, to
maybe
go.
10 cups.
Right, to go.
Whatever.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're
because
like that.
we're stacking things
We
up.
like
pretty-
free stuff.
We're stacking it pretty.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, but if we empty the box, we got to be careful. He doesn't start putting shit in there.
Oh, I know. I know.
All right. What else? We got football. We got football. The game last night. Most people picked the Vikings to win because they've been playing good. They've been playing well. Good defense. LA thought otherwise. Cooper Kupp came back up to 13 points.
You know what?
This is better
You
than
know what
nothing.
the real reason?
It's fantasy football.
You know what? I don't know about
man.
defense and offense or any of that. The real reason the Rams won is because Fast Eddie, the other owner, picked the Vikings.
Absolutely.
Because,
Because the fix is in against him.
yeah, it is. No matter what. He couldn't pick the one horse race.
Now I would have maybe taken the Rams in the points, but straight up I had to pick the Vikings.
Well,
It just made sense. to
Patrick
me.
picked the Rams just because of Eddie.
Yes.
He did. He really did.
I don't know if he put any.
I don't know if he put any
Any
scratch
scratch down.
down, but
Oh, he put
he
Stetson
still
there.
picked.
Yeah.
Because that's it. I'm taking the Vikings. He says, I don't care what happens. I'm picking the Rams.
Morty Facts is pretty good at that. But I'll tell you, you guys in the fantasy league, my youngest son
is doing very well.
is putting it down on you guys.
Benjamin.
But
Yes.
you know, okay, let's go back.
Bunyadhu.
Let's go back to. It has a lot to do with the player. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, you say that. You say that.
You can put the players in there, and sometimes they do nothing, and then sometimes they do it.
Yeah, but
everything.
let's just
You know?
let's just take it down to the nuts and bolts of this season. So many players have been injured
Oh, absolutely.
and have lost the year because of their injuries.
Absolutely.
We saw not a good injury last night.
Oh,
in the
that was
game.
that was ugly.
But it's a couple of games that homie's going to be out of
easy.
contention. Watching his leg
Twist.
bend in a way that it's not
Yeah.
supposed to.
And get crazy. You're training all year. Well, part of the year. You're in shape. You're getting ready for the season. You do a couple of preseason games, and then you're done.
Just like
And you're on it once you get some recovery. You're on the sideline with your mates, but you want to be out there. So it's very frustrating for them.
Yeah.
It isn't so, well, I'm getting paid, so what? It's very frustrating for them because they're not helping their guys.
And being that young and being our age, we look at 30s as young.
Yes.
Obviously. Being that young, you hate to have to put a brace on your leg. But look, if you don't, you could actually end up with a career-ending injury
Yes.
at that point because your leg isn't at 100% anymore at that
Right.
point.
Well, look at how it starts when you're talking about injuries. The night of the draft, Eddie takes Christian McCaffrey, the number one running back, and I took the number one wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, and they both got hurt in the first week.
Yeah. Well,
And I just got back. I just got him back last night after 7 weeks.
You know,
So anybody can, and then people are dropping left and right. They're
It
still
happens.
dropping.
whether it's a non-contact injury or it's a contact injury, these Vikings, per se, men are slamming into one another and getting tackled, and things are getting twisted, and your body's not just supposed to be able to take that.
they used to refer to football as modern-day gladiators.
Yes.
I think that's kind of been brought back a little bit
Smoking Joe used to call them that.
because they're not as aggressive as they used to be. And case in point is the quarterback thing. When a quarterback can fake going out of bounds and the
Ooh.
defensive player backs off, because the last thing you want to do is hit that quarterback when
Get the penalty.
he's surrendered, and then he turns around and gets 35 more yards.
Yes.
You're
You're not allowed to.
You know who's good
Fake
for
a
that?
slide.
Ugly man syndrome
No, not a
from
slide. No.
Baltimore. You know what I mean?
You're not allowed to fake a slide, but there was a player last week that juked. I'm going out of bounds. The defensive player backed off. They got 35 yards beyond that.
Well,
What's the goal
that's a
from
legal
Baltimore
play.
is good for that.
That is a
I don't
legal
have a
play,
problem with that.
but as a defensive player, you're really leery of smoking that guy because
Well, you shouldn't be smoking him out of bounds anyway. As
well,
long as
that's the point.
as long as his feet are still in back. Well,
That's my point. He juked going out, and the defensive player surrendered the
Because he
play.
thought
at
he
that
didn't
point.
wasn't going to hit him out of bounds.
I don't want to hit him out of bounds.
Right.
Well, you're better off taking a 15-yard penalty than giving up 35. You know,
But
what
you
I
could
mean?
also get hit for targeting.
Kevin asked a question.
Well,
Speaking of injuries, how do you feel about Miami quarterback? And you know, Kevin, that's a really good question, and it's a good question for a panel. So
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and start this, if you don't mind.
please.
If I were the team and I was concerned about the individual, I would say your doctor's going to have to release you. Your head doc is going to have to release you
Neurologist,
Say-
I guess. Yeah.
and say that it's okay for you to play. On the flip side of the coin, he's come straight out and said, I love the game. I want to play. My fear is 20 years from now, 25 years from now, he's going to have a difficult time
Functioning.
presenting a sentence
Yeah.
properly
Without him wearing a bib.
because of all those
Yeah,
concussions.
I agree. I agree with that. I think it's a big part of its ego
Okay.
and the love of the game, like you're saying. But I think that the team neurologist can be motivated because of the owners and the team
Sure.
to say, well, he's all right when he may not really believe that he is.
And that's
Well,
why
they
I
go-
said
they
his
go-
doctor.
they go
not-
to-
Yes.
They go to private doctors too, man. They don't. I mean, you got the team doctors, but when it comes to something like that, they go in.
and that's
private
why I
specialist.
stated his doctor,
Yes.
not the team.
Because you know what? With 4 concussions, right? 4 concussions
this
in
is-
2 years.
Dude, and they've been
Three
bad
that
ones too.
I know.
And
They've
the
been
brain hitting that wall per se of your skull is not supposed to do that.
Right.
And it's getting hit hard.
I think he's an idiot if he plays again. That's my personal opinion. Just for the fact that, like you said, granted, the team
Morning,
doctor,
Dirk.
the team doctor might say, all right, he's passed all concussion protocol, the NFL concussion protocol. Then you get an outside guy saying, oh yeah, he's okay. Now medically, he might be okay. I mean, he wouldn't play unless he absolutely knew he was medically ready to play. But like you said, if he gets hit again and takes another concussion, it could be even worse next time. It could be, I'm not getting up and walking type shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's money on the line. And granted, I know they want to play the game. They want to help the teammates out. They want to do this. But dude, sometimes, you know, you got guaranteed money on the contract. Now, how they write those contracts, whether, you know, like, okay, Watson, $234 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. If, what does the contract say? Does it say, all right, guaranteed if you do this, this, and this?
Right.
But if this happens, we'll only give you this, this, and this.
Right.
We don't know the particulars of the contract. If he thinks there's too much riding on it, he's probably going to play again. I mean, he's eligible to play again. I personally, after the 2-3 times we've seen him on the field throwing up the what we call joking around gang signs, 'cause he's, I say no, man. I want to see my kids walk down the aisle. I want to see certain things. I want to enjoy myself before I get to the point where I'm like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want. Because I think about it, I had an aunt, I had my mom. I personally, the only thing that scares me, I can deal with the pain. I can deal with it, which we do every day. What scares me is Alzheimer's. That scares me. Those types of symptoms
Stem from injury like that?
I'm going to step a little
I don't
bit
want to do that.
on that conversation.
I don't want to do that.
On that. It scares me for my family, not for me.
Right.
Well, that's what I mean.
Because you and I, we're like, hey, that's my new best friend.
I don't want to be dependent on. I don't want to make them have to.
Right.
You know. So I
take care of your everything.
I told her if I get like that, I'm 100%. Put me in the VA.
So
put me in the VA home. Let them take care of me. You come visit me if you want. You can even bring your boyfriend with you if you want.
Do you think that these players have some sort of insurance on?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure they do.
So
absolutely.
So
what they got? Lords of London or something? Mikey Silvers?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's not going to be destitute.
No.
Oh, by no means.
Well, he's got free health care for the rest of his life as long as he's playing the NFL.
But again, Mort, it's ego. You know what we always said about Smoking Joe said it about you're walking through that tunnel. And you come out of that tunnel and them fans are going nuts.
Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate it.
And they're saying, you're our man.
So if you
and that's tough to leave.
If you've ever talked to somebody that was in the military and in combat, and I was never in combat like my son was. There's a bond that you get when you're in that type of environment, and you become such a part of that team that they depend upon you being like
the leader.
Like Bones expects me to be at his left, right? And he expects you to be at his right. If anybody else is there, he's now not quite focused on the task at hand because he doesn't quite know the people to his left or right.
Absolutely.
So I think that plays a little bit more in football as well. You got your quarterback that depends upon receivers,
running backs, line, everything. Yes.
And if you throw somebody new into the mix, not
little
quite
shaky.
comfortable with
little
that.
shaky.
Well, that's like you say. They know. All right, this play is going to be. You're going to go. I'm just post out, and you're going to be there, and that's where I'm throwing the fucking ball.
Yeah.
and okay, Godwin and Evans is going to be there. Brady was throwing the ball.
But I'm also going to have this guy that's
right
running around trying to
But
get
if I
free.
know I'm going to that corner and I throw it, and the new guy stopped, and they did it. We watched it in the
We're
game. He
seeing it.
stopped short in the end zone, and the ball went right. It went right to the corner where it needed to be. It's like I'm still friends with 3 guys from not my first base, but my second base. I joined spouse from since 83, 84. We still all talk together. He comes down from Montgomery, visit. We do our thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I told Brandon. I said, you're going to be better friends with the guys from your first base.
Oh yeah.
For the rest of your life than you are with the 1 or 2 friends that you still keep in contact from high school.
Mine was actually my
Kind of
third base, but
Yeah.
your point is valid, very valid.
Absolutely.
You make the friends that you make in the military are friends that you keep in touch with. Your high school friends, they grow up, they go
move and do different things. Yeah.
There may be, let's say, out of a class of 200 in high school, and that's I came up with that number. Okay, fuck it, could be 100, could be 1,000. Out of that number, you're only going to have a handful of people that you actually kept track of, maybe not even conversed with in years, but you kept track of, and you know where they are, and that's pretty much it.
But Facebook has helped a lot with that because you get. All right, I left home in '83. Never moved back. So my friends, I go see my friend in Orange Beach. He talks about so and so, and I know the name. I remember him from high school. What he would look or she would look like now.
Couldn't pick them out in the lineup.
No, but I see a lot of them on Facebook. They still look kind of the same,
Relatively the same. Yeah,
and I think Cigar. Believe it or not, cigars help because I'm gonna go to the Barn Smoker next week in Florida, and I'm meeting up with a friend of mine from high school. I mean, we were friends in high school. We hung out, but we weren't like
bosom buddies.
Yeah. But we knew each other. We hung out. We went different places, anything with groups. And I'm going to meet him there with a couple other guys from high school.
That's pretty cool.
So
we're
speaking
going
of
to smoke and just
of
enjoy
that,
ourselves.
you're going to be out next Friday.
Is it next Friday already?
You said you were going next week.
I'm going on this. I'm leaving on Thursday the 7th. Thursday the 7th.
Okay, so we'll have a show next week. And we were talking yesterday about the Veterans Day weekend because Bones is supposed to be out of town that weekend. I'm out of town that weekend. So we'll just let everybody know
we won't have a show that weekend due to we're being out of town.
Unless you want to run solo.
I don't know how to do that. But if I did, I would.
I mean, we can do it. We
Fast Eddie, good morning.
No,
okay. That ain't the same.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if we all do it from a different location, that's not a problem.
I still talk to Pam Edwards from high school.
I remember Pam.
That's 40 some years. You know what I mean? And we still talk.
Everybody remembers Pam.
Yeah, right? They did. Anyway, I still talk to her on Facebook and stuff like that. And we're actually trying to organize a high school reunion.
Those are, for the first one, they're fun.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, that's the one that thought she was all that.
Yeah.
Look at her now.
Yes.
She's 3 times of what she used to be.
She's 3 times of all that.
Morning, Jacob. And what Sunday?
Morning, Jacob.
What Sunday are you talking about, Caitlin? I don't work Sundays normally. That's his gig right there.
That's me.
And he's covered. Silver's covering him.
We're
so,
covered. Let's talk about the smoke because we.
All right.
We got
it's almost that time.
Minutes in.
You got the cigar, right?
I've got the cigar.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm going to plagiarize a little bit. I'm going to do
read it right off,
like the politicians do. Right? I'm just going to read the stuff off.
Might as well.
Pay extra attention.
It's a dark and oily Brazilian Matafina wrapper over a Mexican San Andreas binder. Brazilian Matafina.
Yeah, you might. Okay.
It's got a Brazilian look, I guess. Over a San Andreas binder, so it's very dark. If you
look at it.
But remember, dark doesn't necessarily mean
very true.
Strong.
And a blend of aged Nicaraguan long fillers grown at AJ's farm in Esteli, Nicaragua.
Esteli, Nicaragua.
Just like the original, each size is crafted into slow burning bicola. It's full-bodied and rich with notes of chocolate, espresso, and some sweet spice. These are, according to Cigars International. These cigars are fantastic.
We know that word.
I had to pull that one out too.
Okay.
If you're looking for something with some power and the artwork on the box and the bands, we talked about the bands.
The bands are pretty.
Uh,
Kind of like my father bands.
they're very pleasing.
Yes, very pleasing to the eye.
Cigars International says, go for a box, you won't regret it. Bones, let's talk about the coffee.
The coffee is directions for use to open, cut the top, which I couldn't find scissors this morning. God only knows why.
They're under the.
No, they're not.
Ed Moulton.
I had to go back and do it.
Ed Moulton.
It is called the Buckeye Blend from Fort Findlay Coffee, again provided by Mandy. Buckeye fan, for whatever reason, I think she was born into that.
Yes.
I don't think it's the perfect blend of two classic flavors, chocolate and peanut butter. We assume it's a medium roast. After the end, I would suggest calling Fort Findlay and see if they'll mail.
So
Go ahead.
we've all had the Buckeyes that Mrs. Mort makes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The peanut butter one.
And I'm not really sure this one hits that mark as far as chocolate and peanut butter.
I get the chocolate.
I do too, but there's not that peanut butter.
No, I'm not getting that.
I get a little bit, little bit.
That's good.
I get more out of that than I say the cigar.
I think this would actually be nice if you had, and we've talked about it with Doc Caffeine, had a little piece of chocolate next to it, and maybe one of Mrs. Mort's Buckeyes.
Which on that subject, Caffeine 1901 is working on a chocolate line to
Yes,
go along with coffee.
that's what we talked to him
But they're
about.
having a little bit of problem with
Consistency.
and we're looking forward to that. Morning, Marty. Oh, Marty, I haven't seen you in a long time. So, what? Go ahead, rate it. What do you give it?
Okay, cigar. This is, again, my opinion, not necessarily that of the show or
Not
the shop.
exactly.
Just us. This is supposed to be a bold cigar. It's supposed to be medium to dark, and actually on a scale from 1 to 5, it's a 4, according to Cigars International. I don't find it as being that bold. It's good. It is a good cigar. Cigar-wise, I'm going to give it an 8.75.
Okay.
He's got to get them decimals. In
I
there.
like them decimals.
And you know, one of the friends of the show and people that we've talked to have said if you put that extra into it, it means you put some thought into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you.
So 8.75 for the cigar. The coffee, my co-hosts know I'm not a big fan of foo-foo coffee.
Yes.
Flavored coffee is really not
You're
an attractive
Your
to me.
motif.
He does not go to Starbucks.
I'll drink it if it's good. This is a good cup of coffee.
okay.
Bones made it a little bolder
Yes.
than suggested, and I appreciate that because it added a little sweat to the brow.
Yes, it did.
I'm going to give the coffee a 9.
Nice.
As far as pairing goes, I think it was a good pair.
Yes. I agree with you.
I think the boldness of the cigar, if it is as bold as suggested, was brought down a notch by the medium roast of this coffee.
Okay.
Mav?
I'll tell you what, you know, I'm not a big heavy duty on the heavier side of a cigar, but I'm enjoying this because I think it's pairing really, really good with the coffee. You know, I like my coffee blonde and sweet,
Oh, blonde into do the half a cup of cream.
We saw it.
but anyway, I like it that way. I'm going to give the cigar, I'm going to use some decimals. I'm going to give the cigar 7.5.
Nice.
And I think it's really good. I'm going to finish it. I like it, and I'm not used to something so bold. and it ain't overly bold.
Right.
I'm going to give the coffee a 10.
Wow.
I like the chocolate flavor, which matched up with the chocolate in the cigar. The coffee 10, 7.5 for the cigar. I'd recommend both of them highly, and I really enjoyed it.
So that's almost a total overall 9.
That's
Yeah.
really good, man. Thanks.
As suggested by my daughter a couple weeks ago, you should drink it black.
Yes.
Which I did today. I just put in 2 of these stevia.
But you didn't try it before.
No creamer. I did. I tasted it, and it was a little bold for me. So I just put a little bit of sweetener in there. Not a lot. The cigar, I like. We're always, we like it, we don't like it. I'm not like, oh, I taste chocolate, I taste this, I taste earth, I taste dirt, I don't get a lot of that all the time. I don't retrohale because I got bad sinuses and it hurts the sinuses like no tomorrow. I'm gonna give the cigar, because I definitely smoke it again, especially with a discount.
You can't go wrong.
No.
What's the price point on the cigar too, by the way?
$11.99.
Okay.
And the coffee is $10.99 a pound. And you're going to get
Many cups.
six, seven pots out of that.
That's nice.
I give the cigar probably 8.5 to 9. I'd say more on the 8.5 side. And I'm like Mav. I'm giving the coffee a 10.
Wow.
It tastes great. It's not overly powerful. It's just good. I'm going to try that. Take a little bit home, make a couple of cups with. I'm going to actually try it with a Cappy 1901 sweet tip, just to see what it tastes like with a sweet cigar for breakfast. But overall, yeah, I give it a 10. I'd say probably 9.5 total. I enjoyed it. I think
it was a nice pairing. Really nice pairing. I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So before we leave, it's been recommended that we try the 20 acres.
Okay.
That's new into the show, or new into the shop.
I know.
I think we deserve to give it a shot. Bones and I have already talked about it when we were unpackaging it yesterday. We remember when it was in the Freestyle Live package.
Okay.
And it just did not
Connect.
didn't catch us.
Didn't catch us.
The Fast Eddie smoked one last night, and he recommends that we give it another shot.
Okay.
I'll definitely give it another shot.
That Freestyle Live pack may not have been the answer. So
I'm ready for it.
These have probably been sitting a lot longer than the Freestyle.
Yeah. I think we deserve to give it another shot since it is new into the shop.
Okay.
So that's my recommendation to the.
And since he mentioned Freestyle Live, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Freestyle Live packs discounted to $34.99 because the drawing is over. And nobody in the shop won. Nobody we know won. Congratulations to the guys that won the motorcycle and the humidor and the nice ashtrays.
Right.
That's great. They ship it out. I got to mention something about that Freestyle Live show. When they first started, they did a great. It was a
You
great.
talk about back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day when they did that first one, it was a good setup. They did everything, the drinking, but this time, they posted from 6 to 8. And me and Norm, a friend of ours, who the Giants are playing this weekend, the Steelers, Monday night, 7:15. We both said, "Man, this can't go on for 2 hours. This is crazy."
I got it the last hour, and it was boring as heck.
It was. Now a friend of ours, our rep with Drew Estates, was feeling mighty fine that night.
Was she?
Oh,
Yes.
she was. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was a
Good
little
for her.
She was
giggly.
She was a little on the
tipsy side.
yes.
Okay.
As they all would. It's a woman's show. They brought Pedro out and this other guy Ricky out, and then they basically said, "All right, guys, this is a girl show. Get out."
Okay.
And it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, the drink chef came up with 3-4 new drinks, and they went through 4 drinks, 5 drinks during the show.
Oh wow.
So we know they were drinking
Prior to
Pre-show.
pre-show.
So
Tailgating.
and they cut it off right in an hour. They gave out the prizes. 5 minutes later, they said, "All right, we're done. Thanks everybody for signing on." So we're like, "Good, only an hour." Boom. As soon as we hate to say this, as soon as they gave all the prizes out, we cut it off.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm not getting anything out of this.
I'm saying for me, it was a terrible show that I watched. I didn't watch the first half. It was just boring and no pizzazz about it, no excitement, no fun in it. It was blah.
No Jonathan Drew at all. Who you always looking forward to seeing.
Right.
Yes.
Now
He's lit.
we all smoke that cigar.
Yeah.
It falls in the line. It's a Deadwood cigar,
Yes.
and we knew this. So
Girl with no name.
Girl with no name. We knew all that going into the show. Good with a cup of coffee. Would I smoke it all the time just to smoke it? No, it's too. It's too much of that sweetness.
Throughout. Yeah.
I like the short ones. If I'm gonna smoke those sweet ones, I want the short ones.
But there is a market share for the Deadwood cigars.
Sure.
Big.
So I'm not going to take that away from them. I'm glad that they are expanding it a little bit, but I think at some point they're going to find that they're oversaturated on that type of cigar.
Okay.
You know, if I knew, but I don't know how long Deadwood's been making cigars. I'd have to look that up. But when I was on the Tiger team and we went to Ellsworth, we went up to Deadwood, South Dakota to gamble. And if I knew that they were around at that time, I would have tracked them because they're actually from Deadwood, but they're made by Drew Estates for Deadwood Cigars. Deadwood Cigars is not owned by Drew Estates.
Well, back in that day, Drew
they're-
Estate probably
Yeah, they're made by Drew Estates. Now, today, who knows? Drew Estates might have bought them out, bought the line.
Who knows?
Nobody knows. But all I got one last thing to say is go Yankees tonight. Good luck. I wanted to see a Subway Series with the Mets and the Yankees. I was tied. I was torn. Subway Series between the Mets and the Yankees or an Ohtani Judge showdown.
And I
think this is going to be. I think this is going to be good. Now we got more home run hitters. I mean, they got them too, but we got some that just. It's going to be an interesting series. I don't think. I'd love to see a sweep, but I don't think either team is going to sweep.
No,
We need to
without a doubt.
we need to take at least one in the first two games, if not two, would be nice. We need to go back to New York, no less than 1-1.
Agreed. I
No
mean,
less than one.
you want to go home with
Absolutely.
A win. With a win, with an upper.
And it comes back like when he said walking through the tunnel, getting that excitement. When you go to a World Series game and you like baseball, there's
Did you see the price of the tickets? The cheapest ticket.
1,000.
minimum $4,000 for bleacher seats, and their bleacher seats
You know
are
what?
up there.
You know what? That ain't cool.
No,
That's just, I'll leave it at that. That's not cool. It takes the young fan totally out of the game.
It puts them in the TV market.
this is off. Real quick before we go, this is off the baseball subject, but we're in New Orleans. It's an hour and a half away, and this weekend is Taylor Swift, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Don't go anywhere near New Orleans.
No. But what one of the fans did was said everybody's gouging everything when she comes into town.
Sure.
There's a girl, I can't remember where
what
she
you're
was
saying.
from.
Good story.
She went out and booked 191 rooms at the price that she got them for. Because they were starting to go up to
Which
like
was
500
still
a
high.
night.
She
Right.
paid still high.
Right. But what she did, she booked them for 191 and she's selling them or giving them
That costs.
selling them to what she paid for them to folks that need rooms for the concert.
Right.
So the hotel doesn't gouge. This is how much money she makes on the tour. They are giving out. They had it on the news last night. You can go into this Mercedes, no, not Mercedes, Caesar's Superdome or whatever it is
yeah.
now, and get merch inside if you're going into the concert. If not, they opened up the Smoothie King Center
Just for merch?
just for merch. For
Jeez.
folks that can't get into the concert but want to buy the merch. Wow. I'm like, this is why she's worth $300 million.
Getting just that arena, renting just that arena for merch for 3 days. You can't imagine the cost of that.
JP Morgan said it best. How much is enough?
Well, and a fool and their money will soon be departed.
Yes. Okay.
I guess I'm a fool, man.
For the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Coast Cigar and Lounge in beautiful Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Mort is saying goodbye. Bones is saying goodbye. Maverick is saying goodbye. You enjoy your weekend. Be safe and God bless.
Mandy.
Go Bucks!
Thanks, Mandy.
beat the brakes off of Nebraska.
And
as long as they
the
stay
Gators.
within, as long as they stay within 23.5 points.
Oh, dude,
It's very good. Very well. I'll tell you the bet after we get done. Mandy, fantastic cup of coffee, the Buckeye Blend.
Thanks,
Wonderful.
Mandy.
Wonderful.
This is, I think, the best out of the 4 you sent or the 5 you sent.
We
I concur.
got perfect scores out of 2 out of 3.
Peace, boys.
I think it is for